We want churches to be at the heart of their community, and there's a whole host of ways in which we're encouraging them to do that. And the Church History Project has been one of the ways in which, for some churches, they've suddenly woken up to the fact that historically they've been at the heart of their community, and why shouldn't they be there again? And also, they've realised just how loved and treasured their buildings are by people who may never ever enter the building, but they value them being there. So this project has helped church members understand the importance, and it's helped them connect with the wider community.
The original aims of the project were to get people to open their churches more, to welcome visitors, and to do some education stuff and to continue the research. And it's delightful at this stage of the project to look back on the last 5 years and see that we've exceeded all of the targets that we set right at the beginning. So we've got more churches researched than we expected, we've got more churches photographed than we expected, we've produced more materials, and we've seen more schools and more young people's groups and more children and young adults involved in the project. We've had students involved, which we were never expecting right at the beginning.
The inspiration behind this project came from the late John Seven, who thought that it would be really good to get a solid, accurate history of every church in the diocese recorded. His plans for that was that they would either be published guidebooks, if possible, or just a ring binder on every church with reliable information in it. Unfortunately, John Seven passed away in 1998, but the DAC took his vision forward.
We decided, rather than to continue exactly as John was doing, which was would have produced a large number of physical volumes, that the internet was an up-and-coming thing, and so it was going to be a more appropriate way to put this combined history onto the World Wide Web.
Of course, in the late 90s, the internet was growing, but was nothing like it is today. So the project has really grown along with the internet. When Tony Brown joined the diocese, he went round every department asking them what they needed money for, and the DAC said, well, we've got this church history project, it'd be great to do a bit more with that. Tony Brown approached the Heritage Lottery Fund.
I submitted a first application to Heritage Lottery Fund in March 2005, and they came out saying, wow, this is fantastic. You're not asking for enough money, which is unusual for a grant provider. They were really excited about it, and they said, go away and come back with some really good ideas of how we could expand it. And you're looking at not just research anymore, you're looking at how you can expand this to include education and also tourism.
As tourism, sort of open churches, welcoming people into churches, and a whole education stream, including primary and secondary education.
We had this huge bank of volunteers, and that has contributed £350,000 of, as well as our sort of 20,000 actual cash to the overall project, which and then that meant we got this 380 of actual real money from Heritage Lottery Fund.
One of the things that we couldn't have predicted, and has been a real delight, is to see the range of people that have got involved from churches. Now, we have the studious types who like to do research. We have the welcoming motherly types or fatherly types who like to welcome people into the building and like to open it up and serve tea and coffee and so on. We've had children involved through visits, but also through putting on displays for open churches. We've had young people involved. We've got students involved from a range of universities across the country. To see all of those people who only ever gather a couple of times through the whole history of the project, through the whole 5 years, but to see that huge range of people from different backgrounds, different education experiences, different knowledge, all part of the same thing, which ultimately is to say to the community out there, our community in Nottinghamshire, these places are wonderful places. Find out about them, look into them, visit them, and use them as your local resource. And to see so many people across the age ranges, across the education experiences, across the social backgrounds involved has been one of the biggest joys and unexpected joys, really, for those of us who've been overseeing the project to see develop.